Ladies, if there's one skill that I spent the past 5 years of my life mastering, is detachment. Whether you're single or currently dating someone, if there's one thing that can transform your love life completely, is learning to trust your own journey and not become overly attached to any person or outcome. My name is Ismael Gomez. I'm a coach, writer, and speaker, and I'm here to tell you, beautiful, that if you ever caught yourself obsessing over a man, overthinking your relationship with him, confused, anxious, struggling to let go or move on, this video is for you. So give me your full attention and stop multitasking right now, because some of these ideas are a bit difficult to grasp, but I promise you that they will help you become a woman that attracts rather than chases. Okay, so let's begin. Number 1, the outcome you're chasing. When you find yourself obsessing over a man, anxiously waiting for his text message, questioning whether he cares about you, I want you to stop for a second and think about the outcome that you desire. What do you want to happen that will make you stop worrying? And usually is, well, you want him to be consistent in his actions, right? You want him to be loyal, responsible, and to demonstrate how much he loves you. You believe that once these pieces fall into place, you can finally live a happy life. However, ladies, when you look deeply, you realize that the outcome that you're chasing isn't really just about being with this man. It's not about happiness, joy, or even fulfillment. It's actually peace. And think about that for a second, okay? All those other positive emotions that you envision are typically found within peace. Whenever I'm coaching women who struggle with anxiety in their relationships, I always ask them to think back to when they were 5 years old, okay? Like back when you were 5. When you're worried about, getting a man to love you back or finding your dream partner, you weren't, right? You were just being. You weren't thinking about any of these outcomes. You were fully present, enjoying the moment. We usually believe that as we grow older, we become wiser and more experienced and closer to the truth. But in reality, what often happens is that society and the people around you start to install their beliefs in your mind. If you're not married, by the time you're 30, you're going to end up alone. If you go through divorce, your love life is over. All these opinions from other people that basically say, hey, there's only one way, one path to experience a fulfilling life. Everything outside of that is mediocrity or disappointment. And the problems arise when you start believing those opinions as facts. Most women have an anxious attachment style, right? So a lot of the dating advice being given to men online is pretty much how to get women attached to you through triggering anxiety in her, and trauma bonding. And the problem is that it can be quite effective. I've done some of it in the past, but it gets to the point that the relationship becomes so unhealthy, and now you got to keep playing all these games because you're afraid that she will leave. So whenever I meet a woman now, I try to bring her into my secure frame, like I put the cards on the table, like this is me, baby. I'm all about love, peace, and quiet. If you want chaos, if you want anxiety, you can go find that somewhere else. Number 2, what are you lacking? Ladies, the only reason that you would chase a man is if you believe that he has something that you're missing. You're seeking fulfillment outside of yourself and giving away your power by placing this man in a higher position than you. It's like you're in your car, but you're sitting in the back seat while this man controls the wheel and makes you feel like a passenger in your own life. You're waiting for his validation, waiting for his approval, waiting for him to make you feel worthy. And if there's one thing that I want you to take from this video, is that no one is inherently special. Only your mind makes them so. The light that you see in him, that sense of uniqueness, is really your own qualities being reflected back at you. The love that you notice in other people is a mirror of the love that you hold within yourself. Detachment doesn't mean that you stop caring or that you become cold and emotionless. Detachment is about feeling complete in here and not having to look for anything out there. One thing that I always notice in the women I coach is that you ladies feel that you're not doing enough to attract someone's love. You want to write the perfect text message for him, to give him the perfect gift. more proof that no other woman is going to love him like you do. But the harsh reality is that many times what's keeping you stuck in your love life is not a lack of action, it's a lack of acceptance. Accepting yourself and accepting that other people may not see your full potential, because the moment you try to prove your worth to someone, it's the moment that you start doubting yourself. And I always give you the example, if you had the winning lottery ticket, no man will doubt its value. So if he doesn't feel that he won the lottery in life by having you by his side, I suggest that you cut the losses and move on. Number 3, trust the journey. Here's one quote that always sticks with me. You're here to experience life, not to control it. Listen to that again. You're here to experience life, not to control it. I don't know if you practice any religion. I personally don't, but I'm deeply spiritual. And the one thing that has helped me the most to detach from outcomes and people is trusting the journey. I think the mistake that we often make is focusing too much on our desire for someone, instead of seeing what purpose this person serves in our lives. What lesson is the universe trying to teach you through this person? Like, think about your first painful experiences when it comes to love, like going through heartbreak in high school maybe or college. How do you view those things now? I bet that you just see it as a memory that taught you something. Now, I do want to clarify, because this confuses many of you. Trusting the journey is not being passive, it's being in control and accepting the journey as it unfolds before you. And to prove this point, I want to share with you ladies one of the most powerful poems that I've ever read. It's one of my favorites, and it's called A Life in 5 Chapters by Portia Nelson. If you're still here watching, this is the best thing that you hear today. Okay, so here it is. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It still takes me a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street. Alright ladies, I know this whole video is a bit more spiritual and abstract than my previous content, but I love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if you found it helpful, or do you prefer content that is more action oriented, like the step-by-step guides that I usually make. So I look forward to reading your comments. Thanks so much for subscribing to the channel. I'm glad that you chose me to learn about self-love, dating and relationship dynamics, because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change. Have a beautiful day.